Hey guys, and welcome to another Juicy Bits video. It's the Sunday night before the first Monday of 2016. And I know what that means. That means everybody's going to bed with a ton of anticipation, excited to wake up tomorrow, head to the office, and start working on the 2016 goals. I feel exactly the same way. So in today's video, I want to do something a little bit different than what we usually cover. Now typically, the Juicy Bits videos are about a sales or marketing tip. But since the series have been received so well, during the week of Christmas we did the series about the history of the internet, and last week we did a series of about 4 or 5 videos that were meant to inspire ideas for new products and services in 2016 or even new businesses. So we thought we'd kick off another series. This one is, again, in honor of New Year's. It's all about productivity hacks. I'm a sucker for productivity hacks, otherwise known as productivity porn. We talk about it all the time in the office. What are those little tricks you can do that make you squeeze a little bit more out of every minute and every hour of the day? How do you get 10% or 200% more done than you used to be able to do when you learn some kind of new tactic or new technique? And so in this first video, I want to share what for me has been one of my most powerful, most effective productivity lessons. What I like to do before I leave the office or before I go to bed. Ideally, I do it before I leave the office, but sometimes I have to spend a little time before I go to bed. And I'll be honest, I don't get to this every single day. But I notice a major difference in productivity and morning energy when I do and don't do this. So what I want to encourage you to do is write down, and literally write down, don't just think to yourself, but type in or write down the most important thing you need to get done tomorrow. That one thing that's going to move your project forward or move your company to the next level, whatever it is that's going to help you create your next masterpiece. What's that one thing that you need to do next that's most important? I want you to write that down, and I want you to commit to doing that first thing tomorrow morning. Now, something psychological that is very cool is going to happen. Whether you realize it or not, your subconscious mind is going to go to work on this task as you fall asleep and throughout the entire night as you're sleeping. There's been a lot of research into this, and I can share with you firsthand that when I do this, when I write down some crazy problem that I want to solve tomorrow, or some project that I need to get done. So for example, tomorrow I need to write 4 or 5 web pages of copy for a client with a very technical product. And so I really need to be focused in on how to explain this technical concept in a attractive and approachable way. So that's one of my biggest projects for tomorrow. That's what I decided to write down. And that's what I'm going to do first thing tomorrow when I get up and start being creative. So the reason I know this works, or the reason that I believed it worked before I tried it, I know it works because I've done it firsthand now. So I believe that as I'm getting ready for bed, I'm brushing my teeth, as I'm staring at the ceiling or the back of my eyelids trying to fall asleep, and all through the night, I am going to go to work mentally on this task. And I heard about this originally from Tony Robbins, and he shared this study that was done where they invited in a control group and a second group that they were actually studying, and they asked all of them to sit down and draw a very complicated pattern on a piece of paper. So this is not something that you could just do. It was nothing that people had ever seen before. It was very intricate, and it took a lot of mental capacity or focus to be able to draw out this very intricate pattern. Didn't take any artistic talent, just took the ability to memorize and pay attention to the actual format pattern. So what they did is then they took one group and they let them practice every day for a week. They came in every day, they practiced on it, and by the way, they had timed everybody the first time they did it. So everybody had a unique time and how long it took them to do it. And then they let group A come in every single day and practice this and actually do it. The control group did nothing. But remember, they had done it once, and their brain knew that they had difficulty getting this done. So every night when they went to sleep for, let's call it 5 days, I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember the exact study, but let's say a week or 2 weeks, they went to bed every night, and whether they realized it or not, they were getting better and better at drawing this pattern. Their brain could not let it go. When they brought the groups back in 2 weeks later, the control group obviously performed much faster. They were able to draw the pattern very quickly and shave significant time off of their off of the time because they had been practicing this for several days. Now the control group, who had not practiced it, who were not even told that they were going to be invited back in to redraw it, were brought back in, and they said, okay, we're going to try this again. They made substantial progress on the time that it took to get done, which led the researchers to believe that they were building the cognitive skills and they were practicing through mental repetition on how to do this. And there's been a lot of other studies. There's been things with free throws in basketball where some people practiced and some people just thought about practicing, and another group did both. But it's been studied over and over again. And I can really speak from personal experience in this one that if you are very deliberate and very clear about what it is that you want to work on for the next day, you can't help it, but your subconscious mind is going to go to work and it's going to start solving that problem. And a lot of you guys hearing this probably can relate. You go in the morning and all of a sudden this problem that you left work unable, uninspired, completely tripped up by, unable to figure out, you come in fresh in the morning, and that's what we call it. We say, well, I'm just fresh because it's the morning. And you come back in the next day and ideas are flowing. You crack the puzzle, you find the line of code, the bug that you couldn't solve before, you identify the solution, the strategy that just was right there in front of your face but you couldn't see before, or you just sit down and spew out the perfect piece of content on paper.